Hello guys, Ashley here, also known as the Asia Lee fan. I'm back with another video, and unfortunately it is not about Gossip Girl. That will be coming out very soon. Like I said, I have PTO days off so I can get as clean as done with the Gossip Girl rant. There's only one left and it's about Chuck and Blair. So I'm gonna get that done, but all over the week I was thinking about One Tree Hill again. I know you guys are tired of talking about One Tree Hill, but it is honestly, when I say this, it is honestly my favorite show of all time. I can talk about it non-stop with people. And I just started thinking about some other stuff that I never got a chance to talk about. Like some of the friendships that I want to talk about. I want to talk about the school shooting episode and why I personally really do love the episode. As much as the podcast tried to fucking bury the episode, it's like, I'm not good on that. If you don't have to watch the podcast, go watch my video about it. And I never got a chance to talk about Dan, which I didn't talk about him. I want to talk about Lucas again because I honestly just feel like, I know I already did a video about him and Peyton being overhated, but I feel like Lucas really needs his own personal video so I can just express why I like him and why I can also understand the frustrations towards his character. But when I see people say that he's the worst character in the entire show, that's crazy to me. Are you serious? He's the worst character? Stop it. I think I might do the same thing with Peyton too. Like, I think I might just break down each of them. Because to me, I always feel like him and Peyton are more overhated than Dan, which is insane to me. It's insane that they're more overhated than Dan, in my opinion. I don't understand that at all. But I think I'm going to do the same thing too for Peyton. Just break down why I just feel like the hate for her is really just absurd to me. Because me personally, Peyton is my favorite. I would say yes, Peyton is my favorite out of the 5 characters. I enjoy her storylines. I enjoy her character development. I enjoy her character journey. I really do like Peyton. And I would say a close second for me is Lucas. I know people are going to hate that, but I've always been Lucas too. I feel like he always had interesting plot lines. He's always had just interesting stuff going on. He's never not doing anything like Mouth. Mouth was there and he did nothing. I really did like Lucas, even though his character did make mistakes, which it seems like people just don't seem to understand that. I guess it's different because he's a man, right? Lucas is allowed to make mistakes and not be forgiven because he's a man. I mean, that's the way we live in right now. That honestly, like, no one can make a mistake and not be forgiven for it. It's ridiculous. It's like he's just not allowed to make mistakes. So I'm going to talk about that today. It's just ridiculous to me. But yeah. And then I would say, and I'm not here to rank the characters who I least like or like least, but I would say my favorite 2 were always Lucas and Peyton. I was just always more intrigued by their characters and their character development. Say what you want, they find character development, everything like that. I don't care what niggas say. I love their characters. So I might talk again about why I just feel like they're very overrated. But just now, there's a lot of things I want to talk about. I'm probably not going to expose all of them right now, but I know that my photo gallery is full of screenshots of things that I want to talk about. So mainly some of the friendships too, because I didn't get a chance to talk about some of the friendships, so I'm going to talk about some of the friendships. But today's video is going to be about the weird circumstance about why Peyton's original father in season 1 was written out. And I've heard some weird things about people saying, it was a podcast I was listening to, and they said that they heard that the reason why Peyton's father was written out was because the writers thought that him and Hillary had way too much chemistry. And by him, I mean Thomas. He's in Cobra Kai. I feel like people just think that it was weird for them to have chemistry. It's like, duh. How, if I'm supposed to believe this is Peyton's father, wouldn't it make more sense if her and her father Larry did have chemistry? And I think Hillary and Thomas had really great chemistry. I feel like their scenes together were believable. I thought the conversations that they had were believable. And like they kind of look alike. Like I feel like that can be her dad. Like that can be Hillary's dad. Um, I don't know. I feel like that was just a real connection. Like that to me, it seemed like that was a real father and daughter bond. And like, and even my mom talked about this. Wouldn't it make more sense if she did have chemistry with somebody that she can be around? Like, you know that it makes sense for that to be her father. And then on the podcast, they were talking about Thomas was way too nice of a dad. Like, he wasn't like, they said he felt like more like a best friend to Peyton than a father. And it's like, what? Why? Because he's not yelling at her? Is that why he's not a parent? Because he's not yelling and screaming and barking orders? So you guys want to be Dan? Just unlovable. Dan is not approachable at all. He is the least approachable person in that entire show. Dan is not approachable. I hate how they switch her father, because the guy in the third season, the actor that they picked, him and Hillary had no chemistry. I never once believed any of their scenes together when they were getting like emotional or anything. Like, I never once believed in it. I mean, I'm not gonna lie, I did like the scene where he came into her room and he said, "Don't let this woman ever change your perception on your mother." That is to me, that is a very underrated, like, emotional scene, because whenever I watch it, I get kind of choked up, because the acting in the scene was great. He's not a bad actor, the guy they picked. I just never once believed that him and Hillary had any real chemistry. Like, him and Hillary barely had any real scenes together where I was like seeing the chemistry. Like the scene where she said, "I don't even know who my real father is because it's you." That scene just felt kind of like, I'm gonna say it felt kind of forced. Like, I just didn't see it. I just didn't see the chemistry. Like with her and Thomas, it felt more natural. Like when they hugged each other or when they talked, like it just felt more natural to me. Like I just felt like that was a great casting, and for them to just fire him because people were being weird about it, I don't fuck with that. Like, wouldn't it make more sense if like, I'm gonna keep saying it, doesn't it make sense to cast somebody that you can believe is gonna be Hillary's dad? Like, I just think I just don't understand why they would fire him. And then the other actor, him and Hillary have zero chemistry. They don't have none, nada, nothing. And it's weird to me. I don't ever hear anybody calling out how Karen and Lucas have chemistry. I honestly thought that they had great chemistry, Karen and Lucas. I honestly believe that mother and son dynamic. They have really great chemistry, and like, I don't get that. Like, so what? It makes sense now because he's a man, and we live in a society now where it's like you're not even allowed to hug. Listen, I don't know going on in people's households and like that. I'm not here to talk about that. That's personal stuff. I'm not gonna bring that up on this channel. That's not what this channel is. It's not a police station. I don't know going on in people's households. But to me, I feel like a girl should be hugged by her father. A girl should be hugged by her uncle. There's no reason why a man isn't allowed to show any affection to his daughter without other people thinking weird about it. And that's the society we live in now. That people are just so weird about men showing their daughters, I guess at that age, any sort of affection. Because she's turning into a grown woman, you know, she's growing breasts and things like that. And like, are you serious? So the only love you're going to show towards your daughter is when she's a little girl? That makes no sense to me. It doesn't matter. A girl needs her father, because we live in a society now where daddy issues are taking a spiral out of control. It's like, I don't know what it is, but it's like girls really need their dads, and I just feel like he was just way more believable as a father to me than the other guy, in my opinion. I like the Larry in season 1 a lot better than the Larry in season 3. I don't like the Larry in season 3. All he does is scream and yell at Peyton. It's like, I don't like that. Like, you don't have to scream and yell to make your point. Like, no, what? Like, the fuck? I just don't think him and Hillary had any chemistry together. I never once believed that was her father. Her and Thomas, like, if you look at that episode when Thomas was in there with him and Hillary, I honestly thought that was her dad. I'm like, oh my god, they kind of look alike. I couldn't believe that is her dad. And like when they wrote the first Larry out and the other Larrys came in, it's like they forgot about the connection that him and Lucas had. And I like that too in season one. That, you know, Lucas was just like telling him all the things he's missing out on in Peyton's life and how much Peyton really needs him to be home a little bit more. And like that was really genuine of Lucas to like just basically tell him like, you have no idea how alone she is. And I know he gotta go work to make money, and I get that. And I know they discussed on the podcast how she left alone all the time without social services coming to get her or anything like that. And I totally get that. I get that. It's like, I understand what the writers are doing, but I can understand them being like, it's a little bit unrealistic at some point, and I totally get it. Like, but I think that was so fun of Peyton's character is that she's been alone pretty much her whole life. When after her mom died, her dad he worked less. He was at home more, but when she grew up more, when she started getting older, he started working more because he thought she could handle it on her own. And you know, no one should be alone at 16 at all. And then after that, you don't even see her dad anymore. But no one should be alone at 16. And I understand what they were doing with Peyton, but I also understand that it's like, well, she has like no other family members that can like be with her while her dad's gonna be out handling stuff on the boats. Like, okay then, I guess not. But then that makes no sense either for Brooke, because Brooke, she's alone too. We know she has parents, we just never see them. when we talk about Brooke, we know she had parents, we just never saw them until, well, we never saw her, we didn't see her mom until season 5, and we didn't see her dad until like season 9, which when I went back and looked at some of that stuff, I was like, whoa, I didn't know her dad was in this show. Like, that was forgetful. Like, I didn't even realize her dad was there. But I didn't intend on this video being long. I just wanted to express why I just felt like it was messed up for them to fire Thomas, because everyone was thinking so weird about him and Hillary. I think that's so unfair, because like I said, I didn't see anybody try to boycott getting Marie Kelly, I think that's her name, who played Karen. I didn't see anybody try to get her off the show because her and Chad had chemistry. That's ridiculous. That's ridiculous to me. And the reason why, sorry, hit a bird. But like I said, I think the reason why people thought it was more weird because of Hillary was because he's a man. And we live in a society now where a lot of people just think that it's inappropriate for a man who is a father to hug his daughter. And I don't get that. Girls need fathers in their lives. I'm going to say that now. And the only reason why I'm saying that is because daddy issues have spiraled out of control. And I think if a girl has a father, he should be affectionate. He should not be holding back on affection because of what everyone else thinks. And I think that's weird. I think that's very weird that they fired him and the writers thought like that. And it makes a lot more sense now that when her other dad came, that he seemed less affectionate. And like, I just didn't believe him. I didn't believe that Larry. Sorry. So that was really my rant today. This kind of always bothered me. Like when I first started, I was thinking like, why the fuck they switched Larrys? But I never knew the reason until now why they switched them, and it was because a lot of people thought that him and Hillary had very weird chemistry. And to me, I find that very weird because, like I said, I'll keep saying it, doesn't it make sense for Hillary to have chemistry with a person that is her dad? If we want to believe in this relationship, if we want to believe in this father and daughter dynamic and believe that they are close, doesn't it make sense that she did have chemistry with someone? I think that's just stupid. I think everyone is very sick and twisted for thinking anything else but it being just a very innocent dynamic that they had, and that's my opinion. So, like I said, not long, straight to the point, and I have another video coming up right after this one, so stay tuned.